Hey guys, former rank 1 player here, and I think I just discovered a new Legends League mode. Now, this isn't something Supercell came up with, this is something that I came up with. And why did I come up with this? Well, because Legends League, as you guys all know right now, is pretty boring. So I wanted to spice things up and create a new mode for myself, and I mean, you guys can play too, but it's just for me right now. Kind of to make things harder, right? We gotta spice things up. I wanna, I wanna get some 1 stars. I wanna get some 0 stars. All right, without win trading or anything. All right, it's just like actual 0 stars and 1 stars. That's what I want to get from this. Okay, so let me show you guys quickly how it works. Okay, so this new mode, it's called Roulette League. Okay, so the purpose of this league is I'm gonna take a random army into Legends League, and then I'm going to apply random debuffs to that random army. So hopefully by the end of our little roulette wheel spins, we should end up with an army that is hopefully incredibly difficult to use. And so this is just a fun little experiment to see how far we can push this season. And see if hopefully I don't get too high, because if I do get a high placement with this, then I'll be very sad, because the purpose of this was to fail in really funny ways. So, okay. So first of all, let's go ahead and spin some wheels, see what army we're going to use. All right. So, let's go ahead and see here. I have these wheels set up here to sort of give us our army. So, let's see what army we're going to use for today's attacks. Okay. No, Rocket Loon Fireball. I'm terrible with Rocket Loon Fireball. And so with the debuffs, this is going to be even worse. But you know what? This is fine. This is fine. We wanted to fail these anyways, right? Okay, so let's go with our first debuffs. We have 3 sets of debuffs. Alright, we have an easy one, we have a medium one, and we have a hard one. And we have to choose one of each. So we're going to go one wheel at a time, picking one debuff from each. Alright, so for our first debuff, let's go ahead and spin the wheel here. But let me quickly show you guys the debuffs we're talking about here, right? These are easy debuffs. So we're looking at something. The first debuff would be minus 20 camp space, which is essentially just like a Town Hall 16. The second debuff is whatever army I have to choose one of the epic equipments from them and take it away. The third one is I have to swag a spell. The fourth is my CC troops can only be goblins. The fifth is I can only have one spell type. So either all zaps, all earthquakes, all overgrowths, all clones, things of that sort. Okay? And then the sixth debuff here is my army has to be fully down by the 130-minute mark. I cannot touch the phone after that. If I have any abilities, they will have to go to auto ability. If I have any troops left to deploy, I won't get to deploy them. So these are pretty easy. Okay, so let's spin. Let's go ahead and spin for our easy debuff. Let's see what we get. Okay, CC troops, only goblins. You know what? This isn't bad. This isn't absolutely terrible. We can have the siege barracks is pretty good on its own, so having goblins in there, sure. Alright, let's go with the medium debuffs. Now, let's take a quick look to see what a medium type debuff is. Okay, so we have opposite warden. So this is essentially our warden has to be on either flying if it was meant to be ground, or it has to be on ground if it was meant to be flying, right? So for Rocket Loon Fireball, obviously that it has to be a ground warden for the attack to work, right? I'd have to put it on flying if I get this debuff. So hopefully we don't get it. The second one is only Wall Wrecker. Third, no CC troops or spells. The fourth is I have to remove all the super troops from the army. I can't replace the super troops. I can't move them around. I have to take the army and just remove all the super troops. So if that means going into the attack with less than 100 troop space, then that's what I have to do. So the next one after that is I have to triple the easy debuff. So whatever my easy debuff is, I have to try and do 3 times that if it applies. Because some of them, tripling them doesn't really make sense or any difference. The last one here will be I can only have passive abilities for my equipment, or if I could choose to just use auto abilities. So the choice is mine there. All right, so let's roll for this. We have, remember, the first one is goblins in the CC. So hopefully we don't get absolutely destroyed here. This is probably the saddest day of my life. I have to remove all the rocket loons from my rocket loon fireball attack. This okay, so essentially we're hoping to 1-star here. Okay, we're hoping to at least get away with a 1-star apparently at this point, because we haven't even hit the hard debuff yet. So let's look at hards. So the first hard debuff is I have to replace the warden in my army with the 5th hero. The second one is I have to play on max zoom in. The third is no CC troops, spells, or siege. The fourth, I have to replace the main troop of the army with the least common troop. So for example, Rocket Loon Fireball, the main troop is Rocket Loons, and the least common troop there would probably be that 1 minion archer barbarian you bring in, right? So I'd have to replace all the camp space from the Rocket Loons with like barbs and archers, or whatever the least common troop is there. The next one is I have to go back and get 2 extra easy and 2 extra medium debuffs. And the last one is I have to play with default equipment. So let's roll for this. And this is the first time I've done this, by the way. So if I end up getting 0 stars consistently, I might have to tone it down, because then I'll never climb up, and then we'll never actually get any reasonable bases to hit. So we'll see how it goes. All right, let's spin for the hard one. Okay, please. Yeah, so Rocket Loon Fireball with no Rocket Loons, and no Warden. As you all know, Rocket Loon Fireball is essentially just Rocket Loons and Warden. That's the 2 main parts of the army, and I get none of them. So, but you know what? This is why we did this. Okay, we did this to make it difficult, and that's what we're gonna do. So that's okay. Let's just see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. All right, let's put on our Rocket Loon Fireball. Let's make sure we get the appropriate CC here, and then we have to replace the Warden with the 5th hero, which in this case is our RC. So at this point, this isn't really, I mean, it's not, okay, you know what, no, I was gonna say this really isn't Rocket Loon Fireball anymore, and it isn't, but I can't even switch equipments. Like, I can't just switch things around. It has to be exactly how it would be otherwise. Well, I can switch this equipment actually, because the RC wasn't in the army, so the rocket spear wasn't necessarily what I was going for anyways. But the rest of it has to stay the same. So we're gonna keep the rest of the army the same. Here we're gonna remove. We can't even have the super wall breaker either. And then our yeah, this CC has to be only goblins here. Interesting. Okay. That's very cool. I'm gonna remove the sieges to make this cheaper here. Okay. I get. How do I even approach this? There's no warden. There's no rocket loons. It's just an RC charge at this point, with no recall. So. Okay, that's kind of sad, but no. But you know what? We're gonna make this work. We are going to make this work. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and go in with this attack. Oh boy. Yeah. Give me a warning. Go ahead. All right. Okay. Easy bases. First day of the season. So what we're gonna do is let's go ahead and use the RC to do as big of an RC walk as we can, and then we're gonna go ahead and do a queen charge since we can't do a warden charge here. So then, actually, let's just do a queen charge instead of the warden charge here. Okay. Let's treat this very much like a warden charge. Oh, he has goblins in his CC as well. He also spun the roulette wheel. I really don't want to free this camp up, but I don't even have wall breakers to get her in here. He has super archers in here. Oh my god, he's a pro. This earthquake there, so we can. Right here, and then we'll rage here. And then we're gonna have to break in the king there soon. Let's do this real quick. Okay. Let's just do that. And then we're gonna have to start our RC soon too. No, we still have the queen ability. I forgot about that. Let's get him there. Let's go ahead. No! We're so close! But we have abilities left. Okay, we got invis spells. Okay, okay, okay. The base wasn't great, but we made it work. All right. So look, all right. This is perfect. All right. But yeah, guys, this is kind of what I wanted to do for this season. As long as I don't get bored of it, so we'll see how it goes. Right. As we climb up higher, the bases are gonna be a lot more difficult, and these attacks will no longer be 3-starable anymore, right? And we really will just be going with as high 2-star as we can. So this is perfect. All right, so we'll see if the debuffs are good enough. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll go ahead and be posting more videos for the remainder of the attacks. I'm probably splitting the videos up into just one attack each, because we do have to spin the wheels, and then we have to kind of set up the army and think a little bit about how we're gonna make the army work. Since sometimes, like you saw in this army, it kind of just broke the whole thing, and this wasn't Rocket Loon Fireball whatsoever anymore, but it worked. Okay, so yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll go ahead and work on the next attack, so see you guys then.